Hi, everybody. I wanted to take a minute to talk with you about something we've mentioned often in the past year, and that's the GEA, which stands for Gap Elimination Adjustment. Sounds like a defensive scheme used in the Super Bowl on Sunday, doesn't it? Well, it was a scheme, all right. It was a gimmick implemented in 2010 when Democrats controlled Albany, and they used it to close the massive budget deficit. But the results were incredibly damaging. Less funding for local schools meant fewer teachers in the classroom, students lumped together in larger classes, and more financial burden shifted to local taxpayers. But the state deficit wasn't the fault of our schools. For years, New York State spent more than it could afford. Albany ran up its credit card and then stuck taxpayers with the bill. It's as simple as that. The GEA was a short-sighted decision then, and it only looks worse today. In 4 years, New York schools have lost $9.5 billion in funding under the Gap Elimination Adjustment, and over 35,000 school employees have been laid off in that time period. Schools in our district, the 55th, have lost over $120 million due to the GEA. Seniors who will walk across the stage to accept their diplomas this spring went to class under those funding cuts for their entire school careers. It's unfair, and it needs to change. And that's why I was proud to join fellow Republican senators in the majority conference today and call for an immediate end to gap elimination in this year's state budget. Our conference added 7 new senators this year, including me, and we all came here to get things done. So where do we go from here? Well, I'm going to work hard here in Albany with my colleagues in both the Senate and the Assembly to make GEA repeal a priority in this year's state budget. And there may never be a better time to make it happen than right now. The governor says we have a $2 billion surplus. Well, the cost of wiping away the GEA will cost a little over $1 billion. So there's no good reason not to end the GEA this year. Remember, the GEA started when one party worked in isolation and passed a bad policy. So it's going to take all of us working together as Republicans and Democrats to start over and get it right. At a time when lawmakers, teachers, and families all across New York State are talking about reforming our public education system, repealing the GEA is one of the most common sense ways to achieve positive results for our schools and for our taxpayers. Let's get it done. Until next time, I'm Rich Funke. Hope to see you soon.